Hello, UTU Trust Guardians, and welcome to the July 2021 edition of the UTU Update. I'm Mike, your Chief Commercial Officer, and we are here with CEO Jason. What's up, Jason? And of course, our CTO, Bastian. What's going on, Bastian? And as usual, we're going to talk about everything that's happened at UTU in the past month. We've got a packed episode, so let's jump right into the product updates. Of course, starting with the big news, we launched our creditworthiness and M-Pesa Parser APIs. Jason, tell us a little bit more about these products.
Yeah, this is super exciting. So the creditworthiness API will allow both traditional and DeFi lenders to more accurately assess creditworthiness of borrowers. So our AI engine analyzes lots of different data inputs, including clients' existing customer data, social relationships, and more to essentially better identify trustworthy borrowers and those with a higher probability of default. So for traditional lenders, our creditworthiness API can increase loan volume and it can decrease defaults. For DeFi lenders, this can facilitate under-collateralized loans, which I don't know, I think we all agree that reducing collateralization rates in DeFi is one of the key constraints on the market. So we also launched, interestingly, for folks in Kenya and anywhere soon where mobile money is, we launched the first version of our M-Pesa statement parser. So this tool is really cool. It helps our Africa-based clients extract data such as name, phone number, account payment activity from their customers' mobile money statements. And so clients can use this data with our creditworthiness API or on its own with their own credit scoring models. So it's super flexible. We've also really increased the functionality of the parser, including the ability to parse both personal and business statements, which is super important for mobile money, as well as the bulk upload of statements for faster processing. So we're already seeing huge response and interest from the market for these products. So yeah, I guess stay tuned for more news on who we're integrating that with.
Yeah, super excited for these products. And I think it's a pretty interesting kind of comparison where you see the creditworthiness API can be applied to so many different. What's that?
Just had to get rid of my cat.
Oh, yeah. Well, we could have him or her as a fourth guest. That's cool. But yeah, just going back to saying, the creditworthiness API, it can span across traditional finance and DeFi. So globally, everywhere across different sectors. But then now we have the M-Pesa parser, which is like laser focused on the local economy and the problems that our roots in Africa, solving a lot of the problems that the companies in Africa face. So super cool to kind of see that global versus local products. So we are also working on some updates to the UTU protocol testnet and other products. Bastian, can you talk about the progress here?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, so far we had built UTU Trust token on Eternity blockchain, but recently they had a hard fork, and that would require a major refactoring of the contract. So we decided to port it to Solidity instead, so that we can run it on any EVM compatible chain, basically, of which there are quite many lately. And most likely we will launch it on Polygon first. So that has some challenges, like, for example, which oracle to use to query the Trust API to determine which endorsers to reward. Yeah, people who have not yet read our white paper might refer to there what I'm talking about. But anyway, on Eternity, that was quite easy because it had built-in oracles, but on EVM chains, you basically need to use an external oracle provider or roll your own. And yeah, we are currently evaluating different options, and we will announce some details about that soon. Once we ported that and launched the testnet, you will be able to, on the testnet, stake amounts of UTU Trust token, or UTT as we also call it, on service providers or generally any endorsable entities, and be rewarded if others follow your recommendations and also endorse. We will also amend the SDK to show UTT balance and probably build a little web app and a mobile app around that. So later you will also be able to convert UTT to UTU coin or UTU, for which we're going to implement an auction protocol. Yeah, but back to things that we actually did so far this month. We made good progress on the Ocean integration. I really can't wait to make the release for the first milestone, which is integrating the signals for Ocean assets in our DeFi portal. And yeah, we were also able to make some more fixes and improvements in the Trust API and SDK. I'm going to upload a new release of the SDK to the NPM repo in a few days, probably.
Yeah, I think it's it's a bit unfortunate that we have to kind of port everything over, but I think strategically it makes so much sense, especially with the so many EVM chains out there, as well as the work that we're doing for Ocean. So hopefully that goes smoothly. But I think it's a big step in the right direction, and super excited to get that testnet out there. And I know there's a few things to do before we launch it, but of course, we've got the faith in you, Bastian, to execute. So I know the community is very excited to see what gets built there as well. So appreciate those updates, guys. We actually made a big update to the roadmap, which goes through mid-2022. And this includes a lot of the info that Bastian just talked about: testnet, the mainnet, deliverables for our partnership with Ocean, and much more. So we will post the link to that update in the video notes below. Up next, we've made our first partnership with an NFT marketplace, which I think is super cool. We partnered with Kefi Gallery to integrate our Trust API into their NFT marketplace. Jason, why don't you talk about this one?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're super excited announcing that we partnered with Kefi Gallery, as you mentioned, to launch the UTU Trust API on their NFT marketplace and explore ways for users to further monetize their art and have better trust in general when they're interacting. So integrating UTU Trust API into the Kefi Gallery marketplace, users will be able to get personalized recommendations and ratings from similar and familiar buyers and sellers. They'll also get the ability to add badges and video stories to further improve the trustworthiness and quality of feedback content. So artists selling their NFTs will benefit from increased sales and uptake. Buyers will have improved customer experiences. They can make purchase decisions in a more trustworthy environment just in general. So in the future, the Trust API will also allow Kefi Gallery to connect social platforms so that users can see what people in their circles think about artists or buyers or artworks or collectibles on the platform. So this connection will be completely user permissioned, of course, and offer contextualized information based on the level of data that users provide. So yeah, it's pretty exciting to see what we can do in the NFT space.
Yeah, I've been having some conversations with other NFT marketplaces, and I'm learning a lot about how important curation and recommendations are for these platforms. It's art is a very subjective thing, and a lot of times people, and especially with just the explosion of NFTs, I think this curation is really going to be important for these NFT marketplaces. So, which of course makes our Trust API a perfect fit there. So we are super excited to partner with Kefi Gallery, and we will post the links to the announcement blog post in the video notes below. And of course, stay tuned for more partnerships with other marketplaces coming up very soon. Next up, we had a couple of community events going on. First, we held an AMA with the Block Circle last week. Jason and Bastian, you guys answered a lot of questions from that community. How do you think it went?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, a lot of interesting questions. Nothing copy pasted from previous AMAs. Yeah, it was nice. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, no, they have a nice community that they've built over there, and it was I think there's some good overlap, and I noticed some growth in our communities after that, so it was good.
Yeah, I love the copy paste questions, especially when they all like exactly, there's like 5 in a row of the same copy paste question.
For why you make glorious benefit long-term hodlers.
Oh, God. Yeah, love that. Awesome. Yeah, I think it went really well. Like you said, a lot of questions. They're coming fast and furious, and we have the transcript of the AMA on our blog, and we will post a link to that, of course, in the video notes below. All right, next up, we did 3 Trust Guardian interviews, super interesting conversations. First, we spoke with our trusted investor and advisor, Sherman Lee, who, of course, also runs Raven Protocol. We talked about the AI scale problems he's solving with Raven and how influential he was on what UTU is today. So, he's been amazing to work with, super responsive, always willing to help, huge supporter. But I had no idea until I spoke with him how impactful he was from the very beginning of UTU.
Yeah, it's really incredible. Sherman's played such a role in the ideation, the maturing, and kind of deployment and everything about UTU. It's really he's been a huge force for us, and it's always just really enlightening and fun listening to him. Something new to learn every time, and always a laugh as well. Him and his meme coins.
Oh yeah.
What also what Sherman and the team at Raven are building is really incredible as an AI company that is looking at pretty big model training costs in the future, and looking at what Raven is doing in terms of democratizing access to model training capability and making it more accessible. It's super excited. We've played around with it and it works. It's amazing. And so we know that this is it's going to be a game changer for AI going forward.
Yeah, of course. There's.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Bastian.
I fully agree. Yeah, I fully agree. I personally tried it, and yeah, it's just cool to try. And also fully agree on Sherman's role in starting up UTU, and also particularly the protocol part of it. Yeah, I'm not sure if we had gotten so far down this path without some encouraging people such as him.
Yeah, he's been great. Obviously I have not been there from the very beginning. Just came on after you guys did the Uniswap offering. But yeah, I mean, it was great to see him on board. I was familiar with his work at that point, and it's been great to work with him. So he's been a force for us. So I love that. I also spoke with Irfan Khan, the founder of Hypermine, our partners who are building decentralized ID system HyperSign. We talked about how important digital ID is, as well as having that trust layer sit on top of it. Irfan is a super cool guy. He doesn't pull any punches. He speaks his mind, and that was a super fun conversation. Finally, we just released the interview with Dr. Sebastian Stein, our research partner from the University of Southampton. And yeah, we had a pretty broad-ranging conversation, talked about the misconceptions of and realities of artificial intelligence, how we're partnering with them to deliver citizen-centric AI solutions, and how he thinks, which is a very popular topic in our Telegram, how ketchup on spaghetti is okay. There were some supporters, some opponents. That was pretty funny. I think we're gonna have to burn Seb for that a little bit more. So Bastian, you're going to be working closely with Seb. Can you talk about the roles both of you guys will be playing in this partnership between us?
Yeah, sure. So I'm enjoying this already. It's always very productive and fulfilling and fun at the same time to work with Sebastian. And yeah, he recently kicked off the Citizen-Centric AI Turing Fellowship that he was awarded. We took part in that, and there was quite an impressive lineup of industry partners apart from us that he has assembled there. We were able to present UTU's challenges quite prominently there in that workshop, and we also got quite a bit of interest from the other participants. So the other industry partners, he's still going to hire some researchers. And that, of course, is because UTU has such interesting stuff to work on. And so the hope is that definitely some of his researchers that he's going to hire will work on problems that we presented and that help us advance our methods, our Trust API particularly, and solve the challenges there. I also want to talk a bit about the spaghetti and ketchup thing, and I really hope that I'm not maybe partially responsible for that, because I did some research visits to Southampton back when I was doing my own research as a PhD student, and we had this international dinner happening where all the students would bring some local dish from their home countries or areas, and I got Bastian to make Labskaus with me. So that's a northern German dish, and it literally means lab course. And I read somewhere that lab in that sense is an old word for like dull guy. So you maybe have an idea of how some people view that dish. But I think it actually really tastes good when you prepare it properly. And people liked it.
I'm not coming over for dinner.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it was just funny in the Telegram conversations we were having about that. Hopefully people got the AI part of the conversation, learned a little bit about that instead of just focusing on the ketchup and spaghetti. But that's what pops, I guess.
I feel like there's gonna be a new sticker in our group soon.
Yeah, we're gonna make Dr. Stein famous for that. So of course we'll post links to each of these interviews in the notes below. Last but not least, community questions. So before we're recording this update, we asked you, the community, to submit your questions so we can answer them on this video. And first up is from our one of our biggest supporters, that guy in crypto, Simon. He's now also a community manager, and he asked, with the M-Pesa Parser API, I was wondering, in general, how strong are UTU's bonds with Kenya and Africa in general? And how is UTU already affecting the daily life for African citizens? Jason, why don't you lead this one off?
Yeah, I could say our bonds and ties around Kenya and around the African continent are pretty strong. So I've been here for almost 9 years now, building companies. And Bastian, you're here, what, 7 years?
Yeah,
8 years.
7.
And Bastian married a Kenyan actually, and his residency status, I believe, is changing soon even. Yeah. But no, we go deep in Kenya, and most of our team is based here. Our relationships are really centered around here. And it's been super cool, because when I came here first, the tech ecosystem was really small. It was just starting. And, almost a decade later, I feel like somehow like an old man in the tech scene here, having been around.
Grizzled veteran.
A decade. So I've met a lot of folks, and it's great because people know what we're doing, and we get pretty frequent outreach from companies, CEOs, folks all over here that we've interacted with over the course of our journeys, and reaching out saying, hey, we started this new project and we need better trust, or our project has grown and we realize that trust is our main barrier. And so that all comes, and people are already interacting with UTU in Kenya via our mobility business, the original company that I had come out here to start, Maramoja. They're still going strong and growing quite a lot, actually. And so there's kind of lots of, again, anyone who wants to come to Kenya and interact with UTU on a taxi app, you get on a plane. I heard flights are cheap these days, actually.
Yeah, nothing really to add there.
Yeah, well, let's hope for that citizen status for you, Bastian. But yeah, I mean, that's cool. Like I'm not based in Kenya. I'm here in the US, but I've learned so much about how strong your networks are there, and also just like the very much the cultural differences of how business is done there, and how how different the culture, the lives are lived there as opposed to here in the US. And I think it's really impressive. But some of the things that we're building, that is, like I mentioned with the M-Pesa parser, solving a very local problem, but a very large problem that many businesses in Kenya and Africa are facing. And the demand for that product that we've seen, matches that. So I think it's a great thing. I think, like you said, so much of your network is there, and it really shows in some of the interest that we've had. So great job, guys. One more question. This is one from last month that we didn't get to, from Backend AJ. What is a project you guys feel UTU would be a perfect use case for? Bastian, you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. So basically, any peer-to-peer marketplace, really, preferably decentralized. So yeah, for me, Ocean is really kind of a dream use case. I mean, that's just the nature of our protocol, right? We show users information that is relevant to them coming from other users. So it's peer-to-peer in itself, and therefore, yeah, just peer-to-peer is just the perfect fit. And it doesn't have to be decentralized. So on the centralized side, for example, eBay would also be a great use case for us. Yeah.
Sure. eBay, Amazon, why not?
Yeah, any of those. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think, we talked a lot about the Ocean partnership and how great that is, and how perfect that is, especially because data quality is a very nebulous thing to measure. And so I think especially in the decentralized world, there's pseudo-anonymity, so you're not really sure about who's selling or buying this data set. So that is a great use case, and we are definitely excited to deliver on that partnership. And we've got some deadlines coming up in Q3, and we'll definitely put some words out there as we deliver that. So, all right, great stuff as usual, guys. Any parting words, Jason, Bastian?
No, it's been a busy couple months for us, and we've been hunkered down in the cold here with our big sweaters. So I guess we have another maybe month of winter, and then the sweaters come off. But yeah, it's been an exciting period for us. It continues to be. There's just a lot going on, and yeah, continuing to release product and announce some of the partners that we're working with and grow those. So keep an eye out, as always.
Yeah, I'm actually going to flee the cold African winter, really, and going to the German summer. So continuing next month from there.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, UTU Trust Guardians, that's all we have for you. Hope you enjoyed this edition of the UTU update. Stay tuned for more info about more products, definitely new partnerships coming up, and much more. Please hit the like, subscribe, and notification buttons so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a good one, and see you soon. Thanks, guys.
Everybody.